Noting the time and the presence of a quorum, I call the Boxborough Fire Station Building Committee to order. And our first order of business is, let's see, I move to go into executive session to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A6, and to review and approve, well, that first part, if the chair so deems it. Did I say that right? I don't know if I said that
Yeah,
right.
where the chair declares that it may have a negative effect to the bargaining position of the town.
Yes, so where the chair declares it may have a detrimental effect to the bargaining position of the town. Additionally, we will review and approve the executive session meeting minutes from November 20th, 2025, which was held for the similar reason, and we will determine whether to make the minutes public at this time. We will reconvene in open session after completion of the executive session. We'll see you then.
Do we have to vote to go into?
Oh, we do have to vote. Thank you, sorry.
Yeah. Is there a second? Like, I'll second it.
Okay, so I moved it, Priya seconded it. I'm going to take a roll call vote. Alan?
Aye.
Priya?
Sundaram, aye.
Maria?
Neil and I.
Sarah?
Aye.
Matt?
Aye.
Is Larry
I
online?
haven't seen
No,
that.
Larry is
Okay,
not
and
online.
Brolin, aye. Thank you. We shall
I just
return.
need to get this plugged in because my computer's gonna.
I got it.
Thank you. Just not quite there and bending.
I think we can go right next door.
Oh.
Looks like
we can?
sustainability is.
Where are we going?
So we can go next door.
Awesome.
We just gotta set up some chairs.
We're right next door.
Oh. It's cold in here now.
I know, it was nice and warm.
It was warmer over there.
Yeah.
Never in one of these meetings.
Okay, we're ready to go back, or maybe we are. Okay, we are live again.
Okay, hold on, because I have people
Waiting,
waiting. So
yeah.
let me just
Okay.
get back onto my laptop. Sarah, do you need to plug in your computer?
I do.
Right, hold on. Hold on, let me see how far. You can unplug mine. This is mine.
Yeah, or you can unplug me. I'm good too.
Mine is it has no battery.
Yeah.
You good or no?
No, I'm fine, but you know what? I'm no longer on Zoom. Shoot.
I don't think the point had any.
No.
I'm on here, I can let
Mike
people in.
can let people
All right,
in.
so you let people in and I'll sign back on. I don't understand why I got bounced.
If you need me
And
to switch in the middle of.
No, I've got plenty. It juiced it up while we were.
Dave, if Steve Kirby is on and Jeff Shaw, can you make them co-hosts, and Chief Kivlin as well?
Jeff and Steve are coming in right now,
Okay.
and a couple others.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you could make me co-host as well, please.
And Maria, thank you. All right, so we're coming back into open meeting, and it is time for public input. Members of the public can speak at the beginning or the end, but not both. And so if anyone online wants to share anything, please raise your hand. Anyone in the room, please step up to the mic.
So I have, hold on, there's one Kevin who is still joining with audio.
Okay.
I don't know who that is,
That's
but,
probably Cheryl.
oh, I bet you it is Cheryl. Audio's joining. It might, if you want to go and then she wants to say
Yeah, I'll
something.
go, and
Okay.
when we see her connect, we can come back if we want to
Okay.
ask her. So, okay, so seeing no one online and no one in the room, I'm going to move us to new business. Updates on sites under consideration. So, Jeff, do you want to give us an update on testing that's happened or about to happen?
Sure. So in the sites we have, 1300 and 984 Mass Ave, you may remember that the committee started the procedure for getting both the environmental site assessment phase 1 and on both sites and the phase 2 on 984. In addition to that, we also will be doing the geotechnical, which is more of a soil sampling for structural and soil consistency.
Jeff, can you just hold on 1 minute? I really can't hear you, so we need to get the sound
It's
in the
not
room
loud
better.
enough.
But then there's an echo.
There's an echo and it's like muffled.
Okay.
Okay, can you try talking again?
Turn the TV on.
Sure. I don't know if you can hear me now, if it's any better.
We can't.
No, it's not better. We're working on it.
Try that, Jeff.
Okay. How about now? Any better?
That's worse.
Worse.
Much
Sorry, in the
worse.
wrong direction.
It's like we're at the eye doctor. Better or worse?
Right.
Jeff, sometimes if you get closer to the microphone, it's better, I think. Try
And
that.
Does somebody
Can hear
else
you.
have their speaker?
No, it's
their-
it's
The TV.
It's the TV that's whatever
Feedback.
is feed.
Turn the TV down.
Turn the TV down.
Turn the volume all the way down on the TV.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Any better?
I'm gonna live with it. Okay.
Can
go
you just
ahead.
talk a little closer to your microphone?
Sure. I can just talk louder. How about that?
Yes, louder's good.
So our study
That's good. Better.
included geotechnical work at 984 Mass Ave, as well as the environmental site assessment phase 1 at both 984 and 1300, and the phase 2 at 984. So all of that is underway. As of today, they wrapped up the geotechnical borings at 984 Mass Ave, and I don't have a report yet from the engineer, but as of yesterday, everything was going smoothly. They expected to get all of their work done, which would produce samples that would be sent to a lab to be analyzed for results. Those results would help also inform the environmental site assessment phase 2 results, so we'd understand some of the environmental issues, if there are any, within the areas that the samples were taken. Both sites have also been progressing with the environmental site assessment phase 1 approach, and the town is working on providing documents and feedback to the engineer that's working on that process. So they're, I guess, simply to say everything's going smoothly. We expect to get our results within 10 days on the soil sampling, and then after which we'd be able to send an email from the engineering company out to the committee members, informing them of the results and potential issues they might need to be aware of when they are considering the site.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. We don't have I don't think we're ready for the site matrix. That's going to be January 5th. We're going to all look at the information we get through between now and then and come ready to talk about that. So we want to talk about the site design and bid estimate. I don't know if we want to see if Steve's going to share first, and then I think you're back
Yeah,
up, Mike.
Steve's gonna try.
Okay, so Steve,
And I
if
have
you
the
want to
backup.
try to share your document.
Yeah, I should be able to because I'm
Oh, yeah, you're not in a car.
not in the car, right? Exactly. Okay, are you seeing that
Yes.
that spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been can you hear me adequately too?
Yep,
Yep.
Okay. So we've been working on, this is the Phase 2 schematic design through bidding estimate for the 3 sites, 72 Stowe Road, 1300 Mass Ave, and 984. We've got, I've got them, as you can see, side by side. The context fees for the SD, DD, CD, FF, and E, pre-qualification and bidding are as shown. They would all be the same for the 3 sites. We've included a $5,000 reimbursable allowance. Now what I'm showing next is the sustainability, which we're not including in, I guess, what we call the base fee, because we want to break that out into the green add-ons. The next item that I have highlighted here is a traffic signal design option. I am showing, and again, this is design, not construction. I am showing what the design would be for a signal at 1300 and 984 because they're on Mass Ave. I'm not showing anything for 72 Stowe Road because our traffic study originally said there was no need for that. I do know that there's been a lot of discussion about having signals at Stowe Road and Mass Avenue, but that is a much larger scope of work, because that would be an actual intersection traffic signal, which we really don't have a cost for, but it would certainly be much more than the $137,000 for a simple signal for the fire station entering a road. So that's one thing that I guess we want to ask the committee. How do you want to look at that? Do you want to even the playing field and take the 137 off of the 2 Mass Aves, or put some kind of higher placeholder in for 72, or leave it as is?
So I'm gonna echo that the 137,000 is the design fee. The actual construction that at 1300 and 984 would be about another 150,000, because that design includes dealing with Department of Transportation, permits, all of that stuff. If
Correct.
we did one at, the community has said, if you're going to 72 Stowe Road, you need a light, even though our traffic study said we don't need a light. It's going to be a lot more than that in design and a lot more than that in construction. But even the traffic reports that we have for 984 and 1300 don't call out this need at all. So the question is, we're going to be pushed to keep things as low as possible. Do we take this off the table? Do we say, if we really want a light at the intersection of Stowe and Mass Ave, if we end up there, that it's a town issue, not a fire station building committee issue, because it's not needed? How do we want to handle that? Alan?
Well, our studies show that we don't need one.
Right.
So if the town pressures the town to do it, it shouldn't be part of this construction project, as you just said.
Okay.
Same thing with 72 Stowe Road. Clearly, it was not warranted. Even though people believe it should be warranted, the experts say it's not. But if they want to do it, it's an option, but it's not part of the fire station project, in my opinion.
And I don't think, the other thing, I agree with everything Alan just said, and I don't think it's the town. I do think it's the neighborhood that feels that we need it, right? And there's some people who said we need it whether we're doing fire station or not. There are
Yes.
people, particularly within that neighborhood, who feel like this is, and it's a crazy intersection, but whatever. So I don't think it's the town. I think it's the neighborhood. I'm with Alan. If we get pushed into it, it should be a town thing. I think that it's not a fire station cost.
Okay.
I think we should take it off.
Okay. Sarah, Matt?
I agree with that also. I would worry a little bit that there may be some people who vote against the whole thing because we're taking that out, but I would take it out too.
Sarah?
I understand this logic, and normally I would say yes, but because it's that site, because what we've heard from the community is that they're looking for other like mitigation and other things, even even we've talked about like light and sound, we don't think is going to be a problem, but we're willing to do, you know, plantings and other things to help appease that. So I'm almost kind of like leaning towards like, why not a light? I don't want that to be the tipping point in the decision maker though either.
Are you talking about 72?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Well,
72.
It's not in there.
Well,
No,
Well,
that's
that's what we're talking
we
about.
could add it in.
Should we add it in?
Yeah.
The problem though
I
is
think
we
we
have
should-
no control over that light. That's a state issue. It's a state road. So the town may want it, or, you know, the townspeople may want it. The town may say, fine, okay, we'll go for it. And the state may say, there's no reason for it. Here's your traffic study. You know, we have no control over that intersection and whether or not we put up a light. Am I right on that? I mean, we can push for it, but.
We can push for it. We would end up having to pay for it, but we do have to get state approval for any lights on Mass Ave, any of the 3 sites.
Yeah, and I will say, for those people who don't remember, I know Mac, you probably remember, and Alan, when the lights went up by the highway, I had just moved into town, and I've never seen people so up in arms about anything, and I never understood it, because I came from Woburn. I'm like, I don't understand why people are so angry about this light. It was, so the abutters might want a light, but I have to say, the town's reaction to the last traffic light, it was not a good reaction. So, you know, I don't know.
Plus what Mary just said, this is just a design. This isn't the cost to actually do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we think, we have to be honest with the design money, so if we really
Yeah.
do think
Right.
it's an issue.
I mean, yeah, you're right, because the design's gonna be more than 137, and it's gonna be more than 150 to put it in. It
So you're
could,
talking $500,000?
yeah, it could increase
It's
the
huge money.
cost of the entire project by that much,
It's
so.
huge money.
Yeah,
when we're gonna try to cut more than $500,000 out of
Yeah.
the building itself.
all right, I agree. I agreed to begin with, but I also
Yeah.
feel
Yeah,
that there's
no,
some
it's-
concessions that we need
It's a
to
good
make.
viewpoint, yeah.
Are we talking about 2 things?
Yes.
Were we talking about whether we should add something to 72 and also to take away the other 2?
For each one, we're saying, should there be a cost in there or not?
Right. And my vote is no for all 3.
And
For the-
that's what I'm hearing across the board.
For the Stowe Road 4-way intersection, at the last community I worked in, we advocated for years to get in a 4-way a light. And it was across the state road, it was across Route 140. And it was about $1 million in design and construction. So I'd be interested to know from Steve or Jeff, you know, was that, because $500,000 sounds low to me for a 4-way full traffic light. Any thoughts, Jeff or Steve, on that?
We are,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Steve.
I would hazard to guess, because to be honest, I have not done a 4-way intersection on a project. But it, you know, even if you take the state road portion of it away, it's a costly endeavor. Adding the state to it, you know, I think we talked about a little bit yesterday. You look at that intersection, they were going to have to, if they put signals and masts and posts in there, there's going to have to be some reconfiguration of some of those radiuses. And one of the big things is that one telephone pole that has a lot of cabling on it is right there close to the corner on the Stowe Road side. So, you know, a high number is likely. What it actually is, I'm not sure.
That's what Jeff answered. Jeff, do you
Yeah.
want to add anything?
No, that's kind of the same thing I would say. We're doing a project for a fire station in another town, and they had to do, it's part of a larger development anyways, and they needed a 4-way, or in this case, a 3-way intersection. And it was, I believe, upwards of $1 million to do it. It's a little hard to get the true number because it's in a lot of different pockets and pieces. That's approximately.
Jeff, I'm sorry, $1 million for a 4-way intersection, light?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more than just a light.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I really
The
think we just.
design, the construction, all the controls on all
Yeah.
the corners,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
no.
expensive.
Controls,
Alright,
green,
so I just
green
think we need to take this
roadway.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mac?
I thought we were talking just about the kind of light that the fire department could press and stop the traffic just when they're coming out, not a working light all the time.
No.
That's
Really?
not what we're talking about at Mass Ave and Stowe Road. I think at
Right.
984 and 1300, it would be one of those type of caution lights, yes, not a routine
Right.
light. Is that correct, Jeff?
Correct. That's what we're talking about, and that's what Steve was Mary, you were referencing, is that the design for Stowe Road, the intersection of Stowe Road and Mass Ave, would be significantly more than what we're talking about for the design of these emergency lights at Mass Ave and the other two sites, which would just be the sort of, I'll call it standard emergency signal and not an actual intersection light system.
Alan?
If we put it in now, is this likely to be one of the items later on when we do the value engineering, that all of a sudden this doesn't have value anymore?
It is, because it's not something that is needed.
Right.
And especially if it were 72 Stowe Road, that's a lot of money. I think I would rather take that out than take out, a bay or something, yeah.
Right.
So this is our first formal value engineering.
If I could speak for the chief, because he couldn't be
Please.
here tonight, he's traveling, but if I recall in the past, he had said as far as the control lights, that he had mixed feelings on them.
Yes.
Sometimes people blow through them and sometimes they're helpful. So he wasn't saying this is something we absolutely have to be safe coming out of or into the fire station, if I recall.
Right, he was concerned that it wouldn't work. Eventually, people get used to it and
Right, and that's
they
the
just
con-
don't
that's
see
the
it
control
anymore.
light.
So when we were talking
Yeah.
about the 700
Yeah.
property.
Sarah?
I was gonna say too, like, if it is something that they find that they absolutely need, couldn't they also come back? I mean, I get it, it's gonna be a different project, cost more and everything, but they could come back and say, like, we need this.
Yes.
Can we put this in? And it wouldn't be,
Your battery?
horribly disruptive to the fire department once the fire department's moved in and everything to put this light in.
Correct.
So
I think so, yeah.
it could always be done after
Right.
the fact.
Okay, so Steve, we're gonna take the 137 out of the second and third columns. Yep. Okay, so if you wanna keep going,
Okay. And then the items that I'm getting into now are still in the design task portion of this, but they're items that are not included in context, let's say their base fee. So if there's the community outreach materials and attendance that's needed, we carry $10,000 across the board. The survey is included. At one time, we had that as a separate item. The hazmat survey and design as a contingency, we do have a little bit included, but we really don't know what we're getting into in a couple areas, so we're just carrying 10,000 for those. It's hopefully something that doesn't get spent, but if we run into something, we would need it. The geothermal well design is in the sustainability number. The AV equipment design is included now. The domestic water well design engineer and the whole private versus public well. This would be something that would become a delegated design once it went to construction. But we wanted to have a little bit of contingency on the design side. So again, we carry 10,000 across the board on that. The fire pump well design, it's essentially included between GGD and F&O. The temp facilities design, DPW temp facilities design, all not applicable to these sites. Again, we had these categories when we had 502. The test well for the water is no longer applicable. Sustainability green design and test well for geothermal, those are in the sustainability number. Energy modeling for Teddy and for Mass Save incentives is included. Then technical FF&E design for fire station alerting radios. We're going to be going to a vendor for a lot of this, but there is coordination involved on the design side, so we're including 20,000 across the board there. Acoustic design and testing. We've got this only at 72 because of the closeness of the neighbor. It may not be required, but it would be something where they would do some background testing and some to figure out whether we need any kind of extra acoustical to mask any noise migration. The next item is the peer review redesign. If we get comments back from Places, who is the peer reviewer for the planning board, if there's redesign that's required based on their comments, again, we're carrying 10,000 for that. We don't have it, we don't use it. Pre-bid soil testing. We're doing the soil testing at 987, so we're not carrying it there, but we're carrying something at 1,372, and just in case. Mass DOT fees for coordination and contingency. Nothing at 72, but we would have, we have to deal with them for the 2 Mass Ave curb cuts for 1,309.84. So we have a subtotal on those items. That's part of the designer fees. We have the OPM fees,
Can
which
we
are
stop
essentially
it?
the same.
Steve, can you hold on a moment? I think we have
Yes.
some questions.
Yeah, can we go over some of those? Yeah, thank you. So the AV system equipment and design, is that included in something else, or we're not?
Yes.
It is?
Isn't that in
Line
context,
26?
context bid?
Yes.
Can we just write included, so it doesn't look like we're not carrying costs for it?
Jeff, just confirm.
Yes. Yeah, it's included. Yeah, it's included. There's some limitations on what we're doing, but they're appropriate for a fire station.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have been consistent with that.
And then same with the fire pump well design, you said that was included in
That's correct.
the other one?
And then copy that and paste it down in 28. Or retype and format it again.
Okay, any other questions?
I actually have a ridiculous question. I'm sorry I'm asking this. I know that column E is 72, but what is column F? Is it 984 or is it 13?
13.
1,300.
Okay,
and then
I'm sorry.
984.
You started scrolling down and I lost track. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was going to switch it all around, but I was afraid I'd screw up a formula, so
No,
I
that's fine.
left them.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. You,
Anything?
Oh,
Anything else?
sorry, for the acoustical design and testing, do we want to put NA, or do you want to leave it as nothing included on the other two?
yeah, I think put NA. All right, so we can go to the OPM fees.
Okay, the OPM fees are consistent across the board for all three. We have our SD through bidding. We have, we'll do the bid hosting for pre-qual and for bidding through us. That would be to someone like Bid Docs Online or Project Dog. We've got our third-party cost estimates. And then again, any, over and above type community outreach, similar to the architect that carried 10,000, that may not occur. And I've got the standard 5,000 in reimbursables. But generally, we don't really get into that as much as the designers do. But we want to make sure if we have to pick something up, we've got some money for that. Then we get into the other soft costs, which is we're going to potentially have some printing. We have some advertising for the pre-qual and for the bidding. We've got the meeting minutes. We've got the cost for the peer review that we expect to get from places for the planning board and Concom. They will bill, and they will bill the town, and this will go to the project. I'm carrying 10,000 for legal, which I do that pretty standard. Again, that may be something that never gets touched. We decided not to do any pre-bid commissioning services a while ago, so I've got that 0, but we would be wanting to do commissioning once we get into construction, but that's not a design cost. Mass Save fees, just to get signed up with Mass Save. They do have some upfront fees with their MOU. They're carrying 5,000 there. We had talked about having any permitting fees for planning and Concom waived. Mike, did you have a chance to confirm that? Because I did put a note to be confirmed.
I did not. I will get that confirmed. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but I would leave it as you have it waived for now.
Okay, I mean, it won't be a huge number or anything, but we want to capture every cost we can. And then ballot fees, we talked about that, ballot fees for the design town meeting, about 5,000, and then any kind of utility design fee that we may have. Generally speaking, when we're dealing with Verizon or whoever, they may have, a lot of times they won't even send it to the designers without having some kind of a upfront payment, which is annoying, but it's the only way we get things done. Again, hopefully don't touch it, but if we do, we have it in our budget. So we get a subtotal, we add a 5% contingency, and Maria, because I was running into the same thing, I put the addresses down here so we could compare what was what. So, we had been talking for a while about 2.8. We did whittle this down a bit, even though, we've some costs have increased, but we're roughly around 2.5. Mm-hmm. We have been looking at 2.8.
Great. Any questions?
Yeah.
Sarah?
The design period for all 3 buildings is the same?
Yep.
Yes,
It's
it
all
was.
going to be the same.
Yep.
Okay. And then for the sites where we're directly on Mass Ave, those would have added costs to them too? Would that also have like an added fee for OPM to follow that?
Not in design, no. This is strictly from, picking up SD going through bidding.
Yeah, but I thought we had talked about we would have to file for that permit earlier on.
Well, we have the fees for Mass DOT. Is it in that line?
Yeah, that's for
For context.
yeah, that's for them to do it, but your fee wouldn't also increase?
We're just going to fit it in as part of our standard work.
Okay.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
questions.
Add that as a value add.
None of these sites are directly on Mass Ave as far as the roadway route. One's on Sarah's Way, one's on Burroughs Road, one's on Stowe Road.
But as we talked about, I think previously, Sarah's Way would need some work,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
does touch Mass
Yeah.
Ave. 1300, it's not clear yet whether you would go out onto Burroughs or straight out onto Mass Ave. And so I think they're building it with the assumption, the more expensive assumption, out onto
Yeah,
Mass
we're looking
Ave.
at worst case, at this point for,
And 1300,
Hopefully everything.
you could also have one exit onto Mass Ave and one onto Burroughs. You
Right.
just don't know yet.
And then no, did you have a question?
Oh, I just was asking, I was thinking, can you scroll up a little bit more? Okay, go ahead.
So-
I'll look at-
Part of this also, we talked last week about, well, actually, we didn't get to the green part. So maybe I was gonna make the lead comment, but maybe we'll talk about the green part, because you have that below that total, right?
I do, and I added a little bit to it, Mary, from what we talked about yesterday, but the green component for context is, for design, is 272,000. I'm also showing here just, and we sort of put this away before, but if we were to try and pursue certified lead, the increase, and this is not just the design increase, I'm just showing a bunch of things here. For the construction overall would be, it's about 3% of the construction price, so 3% of 25 million is $750,000. And that would be inclusive of architect, general contractor, and OPM, just to give you a sense of the number, because we had been talking about that. Going back to the design, geothermal design and geothermal test well are included in the 272,000 for context as an add-on for a green design. PV design, the infrastructure would be included, but the PV system itself would likely be a power purchase agreement that would be pursued by the town after construction. And the EV chargers, although we thought the EV charger itself needed to be installed, Jeff reviewed the code, and they have to be EV charger ready. So that, there's no cost there because it's part of the code. When we go and do the construction cost, I will and I have included the actual EV charger as a line item. And just again, not design related, but if we go geothermal, and we don't have a design, but going by past history and some information we got from the cost estimator, going geothermal would add a 1.1 million plus for construction, and that's depending on the design, essentially depending on how many wells.
So there's a lot here in terms of the design and bid cost. Only the 272 moves up. Okay, so that would go into the bottom line of the
good.
design cost.
Okay.
The 750,000 goes back to our conversation last week about certified or certifiable.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave it open. We were all comfortable with designing to certifiable, but not actually getting the certification. I wanted to leave it open in case the public has any input. And I did reach out to Kate Davies, the chair of the Sustainability Committee, and she said that in her opinion, what really matters is the standards, not the certificate. If there's a commitment to build to LEED standards, that's good enough for her. And then she also said, I also think the plan should absolutely be built to the specialized stretch code, which presumably aligns with LEED at least to some extent, but she wasn't sure how much exactly. So I think she's thinking the same as us going certifiable. So that 750 would come off. It wouldn't be, you know, that, it wouldn't be in the budget. And then the 1.13 is, it's gonna be later in the construction budget.
So if we could include the 272 in our overall
Design.
design fee
Yeah.
that we're asking the public for, right? That we're
Yes,
asking
we
the
will.
town for.
Yeah.
I asked Steve to break this out only because when we do the presentation, we're gonna wanna say, and 272,000 is for this component, which was overwhelmingly supported at the December town meeting, so.
Yeah.
But that brings it back up to
But
2.8.
the one thing, Mary, though, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not, this design isn't for the specialized stretch code.
Correct. We are not designing to meet the specialized stretch code because it's not yet a requirement of the town. However, anecdotally, even though we're not going to be held to that standard in terms of the building permit review, we expect that the level to which the building committee and the town in general would like the building to perform would generally, as we've currently planned it, consist of elements that would generally apply to the specialized code.
So that was a little circular.
Yeah.
You said it's not designed to specialized stretch code, but it will be designed to specialized stretch
Yeah,
code.
right.
That's what I
Let me
heard.
try to clarify. So we are currently designing it because of the preferences of the committee and what we've heard from the town in ways that would likely meet the specialized stretch code if we were required to actually meet the specialized stretch code. Because the town hasn't actually adopted it, there's no way to confirm,
Okay,
because there's no building
Wouldn't put
permit
it
review
in
to
here.
that standard, that we actually would meet it. But for all intents and purposes, the design is essentially proceeding along the same lines as the specialized stretch code would be. We just haven't adopted it in this town.
It feels like this is lead, but we're not getting the certification.
Right.
It's gonna be designed as specialized stretch code, but we're not getting like
Exactly.
a
Yeah.
building
Exactly.
review of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Also, just to put in your brains right now, we had a conversation yesterday with Alec to talk about what is the town eligible for in terms of reimbursements under green communities. And he said that we would be eligible for the EV chargers. So it has to be EV charger ready. So that may be something that we actually don't end up keeping in the construction budget. It'll show up early on, but we may say, let's not have it in this budget and go for the incentive. And then if we weren't to get it, then the town would have to buy it another way.
And I think the way he said that would work is we wouldn't be eligible for it until 12 months after the construction. So it wouldn't be like we finish the construction and immediately
Right.
put them in. There is some time to be able to apply for the grant.
Right.
Can I ask another question on
Of
something
course.
else that's up higher? Steve, you said that you had nothing in there for the pre-bid commissioning. Did we all decide that we're not doing that?
What we had talked about, it was a cost-saving thing, that we would have commissioning of the HVAC system and potentially the building envelope, but you don't necessarily have to have them on board during design for comments. They can do the commissioning given the design that is finalized. I mean, with commissioning agents, you bring them on during design, they're going to review the design and provide their comments, but they don't override the engineer of record. I've seen engineers, implement some suggestions, but not all necessarily. So we had talked about that a while back. I can put something in here for that, but we had talked about it, and I've sort of carried this line as we've done the budgets, just as a reminder that we had that conversation.
Do you think we need that, Sarah?
What's your feeling on it?
I mean, I do think that they can provide some efficiency later on during construction. However, does it pay for itself? Because that's the goal would be that they could pay for themselves, right? That they provide enough efficiencies that it pays for itself later on during the construction of the project. So maybe there's.
Right now, I am carrying costs for them in the construction budget.
Yeah.
And in particular, the HVAC, because they intensely look at the HVAC system as it's working and really hold the contractor to the fire during the not only the construction and the periodic site visits, but when they're doing the commissioning and the pre-functional startups and so forth.
Yeah.
If we're designing to, a higher green standard, are they useful in the design phase? Like, or are we already going for the efficiencies they would find?
It's more
So
that
we
they-
would,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We would be expected that the design team would provide the maximum amount of efficiencies within the design, that we wouldn't be reliant upon a third party to identify them for us. But we would be useful to have a third party, is especially if they were in charge of the commissioning during construction, would be, number one, to be familiar and agree with the design choices that the engineers have made, or provide alternative theories or conditions that they would like the design team to consider. Everybody does things a little bit different, and a different engineering firm looks at the same problem a little differently and maybe could suggest a way that the designer of record didn't consider as thoroughly, and maybe could provide some level of efficiency. Our experience has been that generally it turns into, different methods of getting the same thing, and nobody really ends up, it's not really like it's savings necessarily, it's just everybody does it a little differently and it's all kind of the same price. But they do provide a good level of baselining the system, so that, in other words, they get into construction, they already have a very good understanding of why the system performs the way it should, what the design decisions were, and what the expectations are during construction. So we're not sort of hauling them in sight unseen to just go ahead and commission the thing. They sort of participated, I guess, if you will, in that design conversation. It's useful. It's often done and required. It's required if you're doing a LEED certified project to have pre-bid or commissioning services, or enhanced commissioning it's called, during design phase. But I would not expect or look to them to find, to identify savings that we could say, okay, that sort of paid for their services.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant more like time efficiencies later on, not necessarily like cost savings throughout.
Although
But
we don't want we don't want change orders to the extent we can prevent them. So do you save by having them come up front and reducing any potential change orders? Because once it's bid, it's bid.
Yeah, the idea of having a third party review it that's sort of the main goal. There's two goals. One is to reduce the potential for any errors and omissions in the design that could potentially cause costs later on for something that was unforeseen popping up and costing money. And second of all, to make sure that the designer who designed it in a way that, is the most efficient and effective to get the design goals that the town would like to have. And then obviously during the construction phase, they'll actually do the performance testing to ensure that design intent is being met, and ensure the contractor actually installed it correctly. So it is, in theory, a way to catch change orders early. In practice, my experience has been that it doesn't really work the same way. You don't have sort of a direct correlation between something that they may have picked out and an actual impact on the change order side, but that's the intent.
We've done it both ways. When you're doing an MSBA job, they're on board
Yeah.
during design. Other projects, because of budget constraints, we've had them on board after construction. The only thing that we get from them really during, just pre-bid is their spec section, which is usually very standard.
And how much money are we talking about?
There's a level to which you kind of want to baseline it, and like Steve said, if we're really just talking about getting some specs and some initial, like maybe just one review of the documents before they go out, it could be a minimal amount of money, generally speaking. But if we wanted to do more like enhanced commissioning, which would be sort of a design team member essentially during the DD and CD phases, it could be quite a bit more, 30,000 or more, to have them actually, being involved in all the meetings and the design decisions and essentially looking over the engineer's shoulder the whole time.
And that would, and if you're gonna, I've got BE up there as building envelope, and then HVAC, that would generally be two separate firms doing that. So, we're talking, 50, 60,000 if we want to have them come on board during design, and probably the same amount during construction.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is not like a weird thing to do. It's fairly routine in the industry to do it. But because of the costs involved, and can you really justify 100% of that cost? I thought it was reasonable to assume we wouldn't do it in the design phase, but we would do it in the construction phase.
So what are we thinking?
I think we save the money for construction phase. And we don't do the
Save it for then?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we don't do the pre-bid commissioning services.
Okay,
I'm deferring to Sarah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't fully understand all of that, so whatever Sarah says goes.
Okay, great. So can you now go back down to the bottom? One of these numbers with the 272 in it needs to go into our warrant article. We can wait and vote it because it'll be a fairly quick vote once we know which sites we're going to bring forward, and we would vote if we move 2 sites forward, we'd vote the higher price, and then
Okay.
we could, if we do this after the land purchase, we could move a lower price.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, can we go back?
There's your
They're only
numbers, Mary, with the
$20,000 difference
272.
there.
yeah,
That's,
So if we were to take a vote, I would take a vote on the 72, because that's the highest. If we,
Yeah.
if
If
we
we
wanted to
could-
vote tonight.
we could do that if we wanted to do that tonight. And
I think we should do it on a specific one. I think the fewer things that look like we're fudging.
They don't like
Would
the
be
word
better.
fudging.
We're not
Yeah.
fudging.
We're
absolutely
not fudging.
for
It's
the
not fudging,
records.
it's assuming and being
We're making
conservative.
assumptions,
Yeah.
which we
Okay,
don't love to
sorry
do,
if I
but.
used that word, but
Right.
if we say that the 768 number and it's really 762, I mean, we should, what is the problem with waiting and doing the right
Yeah,
exact one? Is that a problem?
it's not a problem. If we put 2 pieces forward, then we're gonna pick the highest of those 2 for the
Right.
warrant.
And I've had that question in my mind for 2 weeks. Why do we do that?
Why do
Why
you?
wouldn't we have the exact number with each of the,
Because we're only putting 1 article in for the design. We can move,
I see, okay.
we can
That
move
makes
the
sense.
motion at the correct price.
Yeah, okay.
But you have to, we go in higher, that's what our town always does, and then we can go lower. They
Yeah.
don't like you to go up.
Oh, Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we'll vote this in January along with the property. But this is really, really helpful. If you could share that file with us, and we can post it.
And
Priya, yeah.
just wondering, like January, we are gonna have so many different things. Do you like, do you wanna ease it off by voting one of these now out of the plate?
Yeah.
Just a thought, like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's,
I mean,
Yeah.
they are close, but
I don't think it matters though, because
Okay.
the article's already written,
I
so
think
we're
it's
gonna be
quick.
plugging in a number.
Exactly.
And we're either gonna be plugging in the 72 number, or if we end up going with a different piece of property.
okay,
You know what I mean? So I think it's not that complicated to do in January.
okay.
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna move us to the next items.
But did you ask Steve to send this out to us, because it wasn't part of
Yes.
the package? I'm sorry.
I did.
missed that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yep,
Yep.
I read your mind.
Thanks.
All right, so special town meeting. One thing we started thinking about yesterday in our working group, and this is, I'm looking right at Priya, because the select board needs to think about this. If this all passes, then we need a ballot vote, and we would like the ballot vote as quickly as possible, because we want them to be able to start the work. Everything costs more the longer we wait.
Yeah.
So if you could bring that to the select board and think about that.
Yes.
Okay, then we have, I sent out to you all, right before I was coming here, it looked like it did not get in the packet. So Mike's gonna bring it up on the screen, but we have the revised, articles. We reviewed this last week, and let's bring up the new firehouse design and bid. So that's what you brought up.
Yep, and let me just share this.
Okay, share that.
Aren't these all over in the packet?
There was, did you change it, Mary?
Other
From
than
what was in the packet?
I downloaded the packet and it didn't have it in it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Hold on. This is this week's packet, right?
I think
thought-
she had
I didn't see it
updated it.
initially in it, so I didn't.
I think it went in later in the day.
I literally downloaded it at 6 PM when I got home from work. So I don't know. We'll look, and it is, the actual motion is 4 lines long.
Yeah, it's not in here.
Yeah, I didn't think I see.
It's not in the packet, I just
I
downloaded the
sent
packet.
it to you separately.
Oh, that's right, it was in email to us.
Yes, I
Oh, that's-
sent it to you
that's
through
why. Yeah,
email,
yeah.
not in the packet. So you all have it.
Yes.
But I'm saying for the public, they don't have it, and that's why I asked Mike to put it up, and we will get it into the packet as soon as we can. So the new firehouse design and bid funding article is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, borrow or otherwise provide up to X dollars, more or less, to design, prepare construction drawings, pre-qualify contractors, bid the construction, and determine the lowest responsible general bid for a new firehouse, including all related and incidental costs, or take any other relative action thereto. Does anybody have any edits to that?
I don't.
I think Sarah did a really nice job taking notes during the meeting, and so I was able to make that pretty easily. And then the summary is there. I'm not going to read it all out loud, but does anyone have any edits on the summary?
I think this reads pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any concerns?
So then we will put in the X dollars in January, and that'll be ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have the article for the purchase of property. And that says.
Hold on, Mike, you're not sharing that on Zoom. You have to stop sharing the one you're sharing.
Unless, sometimes people let the new one come in, but, yeah. All right. So this article says, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, borrow or otherwise provide the sum of X dollars, more or less, to purchase for public safety purposes a certain parcel of land located at X Boxborough, Massachusetts, shown as assessor's map and parcel number, containing the approximate X acreages. This includes the land acquisition cost and related expenses for the purpose of constructing a new firehouse and for all other related fire and emergency medical services or emergency management purposes, and further to authorize the select board to enter into all agreements and execute any and all documents as may be necessary to effect said acquisition or take any other action relative thereto.
So the term for public safety purposes is now, meets the zoning.
So in the zoning, and I hope I brought the notes with me, in the zoning, all we said was public safety, and then there was a definition of public safety. And that definition said, let me just find it. Terms defined. Public safety shall mean any land, structure, or structures owned or operated by the town of Boxborough for police, fire and emergency medical services, or emergency management. So I left public safety in two places, but then I did define for all other related fire and emergency medical services or emergency management, and explicitly left out police.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that no one can question it, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yep. Any edits, concerns?
Mary, I remember we discussed this a while back, but I don't remember the outcome. We have land acquisition cost and related expenses. Is that because of the filing and the lawyer? Okay.
Yes.
Everything, yeah.
And Mike's gonna do his homework and get those costs so that when we have
Yeah.
the land acquisition costs and that cost, we'll put the whole amount in, yeah.
And Mike, that includes all of the filings for the state, for the register,
Deeds.
the deeds, registry of deeds, right?
Correct.
Because there's a whole bunch of fees
Yep.
in that, okay.
And any comments on the summary? Oh, yep.
So the only, Mary, I'm sorry, I know we
No.
talked about this last time. This article funds only the purchase of the land, comma, and all, you know.
All related expenses.
All related expenses.
Right, yeah, you want that.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I
Because-
don't
I'm
know where
sorry.
you are
In the summary,
in the summary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Second
okay.
last line.
second to the last line.
This
This
article funds,
only the purchase of the land, comma, and related expenses, period.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
although I don't like the only there. This article funds the purchase of land and related expenses only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes,
That's
because then it goes to say a separate article, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
required for funding. But it's not just the land, it's related
Correct.
expenses.
Yep, that's fair. Okay.
Other than that, I think it reads
Okay.
okay, yep.
All right, so that one, I'll make that edit, and those will be ready to go.
And this will be, if we do two pieces of land, it'll be the same article
Yes.
for both.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in January 5th, I'll bring recommendations. What I'm thinking is I'll do a page of recommendations for the 3 properties and the bid, design and bid funding, and then we can wordsmith that one. Good. All right. Well, that was better than last week. It is good to have more than one look at this stuff. That's going to take us to public outreach.
Public outreach, oh, sorry, that's us.
Yep.
I thought, I was like looking for hands to be raised. So, we had an email today
Yep.
about the date for the forum.
Which is February 23rd,
Yeah, for the special town meeting forum.
information night, yeah.
Yeah, so
Information
Monday,
night, yeah.
February 23rd. And it's actually not a night, so we need to talk about the hours, because Alex has got it 2 to 8.
What?
So
What?
he's, okay, hold on, let me just finish that sentence.
That's a long,
It is, but it's, so he's reserved the library from 2 to 8.
Oh.
We don't need to be there the whole time, but One of his thought process actually made sense, because I had the same reaction. I'm like, I am not gonna be there for 6 hours. If we can get in there and set up, maybe we could, open the doors here at 3 or 4, 3:30, to allow parents to come with children after school. Now, that would mean we need to do shifts. I might be able to stay the whole time, but not everybody, but we're gonna need some people, doing shifts. Now, if that doesn't work for everyone, we can do, I think, what did we do last time? 5 to.
What's the date?
February 23rd.
Last time was 3 or 4 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, so maybe 5 to 8 we did last time.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
isn't that far off. It's literally an extra hour. But it might allow people with kids to come to the library after school.
Did you say isn't that school vacation week, so?
No,
No,
the week
it's the
before
previous
school
week.
vacation.
After.
I have a meeting 2 to 3. I can do it in my home and be somewhere at 3:30, but no earlier.
Yeah, so, I think the last time we had everything, and I don't think we'll have as much. We have 3 articles. We have 2 articles.
Right.
Potentially 3. But if we go, it's gonna be 2 tables, and then whatever else might be on the agenda. Is there anything else on the warrant? Yeah, there was something you guys talked about. Oh,
It's mostly fire, it's mostly.
yeah, and then there's
station-related.
but nothing like, there's the town meeting cost article,
Right.
and that's it, right? Pretty much.
So if we set up at 3:30 to 4, could it be 4, or is that too late for what, I don't remember what you said about kids.
So I think Alec was thinking that with families picking up kids after school could come to the library with kids, because then they go on to evening events.
So I have to say, I'm so out of the loop. When is after school?
I don't even
these
know what
days?
I was gonna ask Sarah.
3:30 is when they would
Okay.
walk over
So
from
if
the school.
somebody else sets up, I
Yeah, we
can come
can-
in at 3:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was also thinking, because the last time we had like 5 tables and it was like the history of the fire station.
we
I
need all
don't think we
that.
need to do that this time. I
Right,
think
we can be
it's pretty-
specific.
Yeah.
I think we need a table for design, and we need 1 or 2 tables for properties.
I think,
Yes.
I
I was
think
thinking for like
one
next
table
steps,
for
too.
properties,
Yeah.
and then we can talk
Yeah,
about both
that's
of
fine.
them.
And then
Yeah.
next steps. Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. And then next steps.
Yes.
And that's it. So it's 3 tables. So it's not even gonna be a huge setup, and if the select board doesn't have anything to bring, they don't have a table that they need to set up, it literally will be 3 tables. And the information's gonna be very focused this time, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I'm just thinking right now, should we have something about the ballot vote?
I think we should have something there for like next steps,
Yeah.
like ballot
We'll do
vote, and then
And
we
you'll
can
have
talk
the
about
date.
like construction.
cause you guys should call the
Yeah,
date
we will be,
soon.
we'll be discussing, so I think that might be something, because I don't think people are, even have an
Right.
idea about ballot votes, right?
And then we
Like, so
can do a
need to
sign
talk
that says,
that
next
should be-
steps, vote at town meeting, vote the ballot.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause I agree with you. I mean, I think
They
that
need
needs to be,
education, yeah, that needs to be.
and that needs to be part of our outreach as well.
Yeah,
When we're, posting
I have
things.
a sheet that needs updating now, but I had that vote, town meeting and then ballot vote, and I had like a town meeting picture and a ballot box.
Yeah,
So
Oh.
we could do something similar.
yeah.
We have to be careful about how we talk about the ballot, because it
Right.
needs to be just factual, right? We have to be really careful about that. It can't be vote yes
Yes
for
or
this,
no.
or
Yeah.
no for this,
Correct.
at the library. It needs to be
Yeah.
just factual.
Okay, so I'm putting this on my calendar, but, do we need all of us there, or do we want to take shifts? How
I
do we
think we
want to do
should
that?
maybe do, I think there was a lot of people, we all showed up last time, which was great. But I don't think we all need to show up at the same time. So maybe we do shifts as we get
Yeah,
closer.
I think, by the end of the night, I think all our feet were pretty sore, because we're standing and talking to people all the
Right.
time. If we did shifts, I think that may work better. Now, Alec and I can be there early to set up and beginning, but that's a select board meeting night, so Priya and I are gonna have to be out of there a little early to get back for our meeting over
Well,
here.
Is it fair to do, if we're starting at 3:30, could we end at 7? Because the library closes at 8, and so this way we have time to break down and get everything out. And, I can close it too, they can give me the key.
I don't remember how late people came in last time.
I wasn't there, I'm not sure.
People came at different times.
Yeah, we had people coming in.
Right to the end.
Right
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the beginning till right at the
And
end.
was it 7 or 8 was the end?
It was 8,
It
because
was
I
8.
locked up.
But if we advertise till 7, I think get people showing up till then, whatever we want to advertise.
I kind of feel like you keep it till 8.
Yeah,
Because I'm just
okay.
thinking like kids' activities and stuff, and maybe they
Yeah.
swing by.
Or people coming in from, coming home from work from out of town,
Yeah.
and they're not getting back in by 7.
Yeah,
You know.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
One of the reasons Alec had planned it for early or scheduled the library early was he thought that parents may come in before they pick up their children at school. But, I mean, did you say pickup is 3:30?
Yeah, we could do 3.
We do 2:30 or 3, maybe
Yeah.
get in there, set up at 2 or 2:30, start the thing at 3, 3 to 8 or 3 to 7, whatever you like.
So that's just, I can't commit till 3:30.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the thing,
Yeah.
I mean, my schedule's pretty open that day.
As it gets closer, I can tell if I
Right.
can be
Yeah,
there
me too.
early, but like, I
So-
can definitely be a little later, and then
Yeah.
to stay till like 6:45 or so, and then
Okay.
run down
Yeah.
to.
Right, and I
Select
could,
board.
I will put in here that I need to be there at 2, kind of thing.
So that's February 23rd. We're going to meet plenty, because it worked well that we each took an assignment,
Yeah.
and so we could split that up, but we can do that in the future.
Oh, we have an awful
Yeah.
lot of meetings in January, so.
We do.
We'll see each other quite often in January to
I'm
make these
hoping maybe
decisions.
my
And
council one,
then
but
a
we'll see.
Winterfest
Mac,
is
your
January
lights on.
31st.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is.
You got the date?
Yeah,
Excellent.
So,
31st, right?
are you, so we, would like
Did we
a showing
agree
at
3
Winterfest?
to 8, was that what we were like, or 3 to 7?
No, 2 to 8.
Oh, the full time.
We said the full
Hopefully
time.
it's
Okay.
not so windy this time.
Do you know what time it is?
It was usually like mid,
It's usually like a 12 to
yeah,
4 thing.
yeah, it
Question?
was like midday,
Oh.
that's all I remember.
The
Winterfest.
Winterfest, I feel like it starts at 1. But
Yeah.
But it's done by 4.
Yeah.
Before the sun
So
goes
we
down,
want a
yeah.
presence there. I don't know if we want a table there. I've said this before, I will not be there unless it's a crazy 60-degree.
Sarah and I will be
I
there,
will-
right?
And I will
I'll
be
be
there.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris has to be there too for something else, so.
All right, so
We're
we're
gonna have
good. So we have
couples.
coverage.
We have a date at Winterfest.
All right.
But, and do we know the date of that? 'Cause
January 31st.
Okay, January 31st.
Yeah, because we'll have everything done by then, so we can start talking about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Have a flyer.
good. All right, and we have our forums. I'm gonna look back at what those dates are. That was.
28th, is it?
The forum is the 28th of January 28th.
January.
Yeah.
10 a.m. and
I
at
know,
7.
11 and 7.
I'm sorry, 11. I wrote it in as 10. Okay.
Yeah, because I, again, have something, so 11
1 to 4, okay.
and 7, those are on my calendar, fantastic. All right, good, good, good. So that takes us to the minutes from December 4th, which came in. She did them very quickly because that was last week. You just find them before.
There was one thing on the minutes, as I reviewed them, that I couldn't make sense of the sentence.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kelly was able to before posting them, but I'll see if I can find where my question was.
Okay.
I didn't have a chance to go back and watch the video and see what was said.
While Mike looks, Alan, anything?
No.
No? No?
Okay, must have been
She
corrected
must have
then.
fixed it.
Yep.
All right. If there are no edits, I would take a motion to approve the minutes of December 4th.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's unanimous. Now that I think of it, for the note taker, it's late, but everyone's here but Larry. Okay, so then we have a budget review and invoice from Vertex. So Steve, if you want to walk us through that.
Sure, Mary. The invoice package for the month of November has 3 invoices included in it. The Vertex invoice, OPM 99398-15, in the amount of $3,389.75. Contact invoice number 14 for $23,920, and the Kristen Patnod invoice for $425.91 for 3 meetings of minutes, totaling $27,735.66 for the month. And that leaves us with $18,356 that is uncommitted at this point.
Any questions?
And this also, this budget update also includes the last amendment up through context amendment 12.
Great,
Would you like a motion?
sure.
I would move to approve the invoice of $27,735.66.
Second.
Okay, so Mac moved and Alan seconded. Any questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so reminder here, I will admit I did this agenda at work and I was rushing to get it to Kelly, so I only put the 5th and the 8th for January down, but we have meetings, 2 other meetings right now on the calendar for January. Let me just look at it.
We have the 15th and the 22nd as well.
Right, 15th and 22nd.
And then we have a forum on the 28th.
Correct. So it's
Everybody-
a busy month. If it looks like we have all our votes in, we might skip the 15th, we'll see, but for now, we're holding those.
Oh my God.
Because we just need to
Between
make sure we
select
get it all done right.
I have a meeting almost every single night,
Me too.
Monday through Thursday for the entire month of January.
Really? Wow.
Just about, because we
Wow.
have to reschedule BLF and then between this and,
Yeah,
yeah,
wow.
my other boards. Good Lord.
Any other updates? All right, any public input? If you're online and you want to give public input, please raise your hand or turn your camera on. If you're in the room, please step up to the mic. Seeing and hearing none, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? That's unanimous, and it's 8:48. Thank you.
Nice.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you, Mary.